off just on the whole, here's a tweet from Vince Dow. It says, right-wing attacks are the majority of political violence. Then he says, labels hundreds of left-wing riots as peaceful protests, deny that the Charlie Kirk shooter was a leftist, consider every white-on-black crime a hate crime, but never the reverse. Yeah, I wonder where this stat comes from. Probably the same people who claim crime is at a 30-year low. So that's just broad picture. But Memetic Sisyphus was going through and specifically for the ADL's data and looking at the individual cases that they labeled right-wing extremism. He said, I checked their domestic terror list and went back through every right-wing case up till 2020. There were only 12. 5 of them are highly questionable. Let's get into them. Up first, Henderson, Solomon, Samad, Charlie. Look at him. They called him a right wing because he was an incel and shot up his school. Just some young black kid, right? Mm-hmm. And so maybe he had some sort of like weird internet community thing where he kind of was racist, but you're white, brother. You're white. Or you're not white, rather. Yeah. Here's another one, and I'm not sure if this is from the same data set, but it might be from the Cato Institute. It might be from the ADL. But this guy said the data set counts a woman from Portland, Oregon, vandalizing a Catholic church by spray painting white supremacists and Satan lives here as right-wing political violence. Yeah, sounds right-wing. So these are some of the examples, you know, the black school shooter, the church hate crime, just assuming it's right-wing. And another thing, too, they also put Islamic terror as right-wing violence, I believe, in the Cato chart. Okay. Memetic Sisyphus goes, considering how all white supremacist violence is categorized as right-wing, it's surprising how much diversity is classified as right-wing violence. The second one he's going through is Mauricio Martinez Garcia. Now, I'm not one to take the ADL as a source of truth, but I thought it worth sharing their commentary on this one. And this guy basically was a Hispanic who shot a bunch of victims indiscriminately at a mall who were all, some of them were Asian. And that counts as right-wing terror. And witnesses reported his shooting seemed indiscriminate. His writings, voluminous and disturbing as they are, do not provide clear indication that he undertook his shooting rampage for ideological reasons. So let's just put it in the right wing. We don't really know. It's indiscriminate. Some Asians got shot. Let's just put it in the right wing. Whenever it's up for debate, it's right wing. Whenever it's like a leftist with a little bit of gray area, it's right wing. We have more examples. Well, I don't know if they're necessarily putting the leftists into the right wing pile specifically. Sometimes they do. Okay. Next is Robert Aaron Long. He's the guy who shot up those Asian massage parlors because he was mad that he kept hiring prostitutes. Someone might need to walk me through how this makes him right wing. So yeah, that was the guy who was addicted to getting his shit stroked. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, and then he shot up the Asian massage parlors. Hardly ideologically right-wing, if you ask me, more like a porn guy. Finally, a double, 2 men, 2 races, did a drive-by shooting of federal officers during a BLM riot. You know, the famous right-wing riots directed at law enforcement, he says, obviously sarcastically. So during the BLM thing, a mixed-race duo ambushed a federal officer, and somehow that gets classified as right-wing for the data. So you see how it works. They just start lumping it in, and then Ilhan Omar gets a chart and gets to yell the wrong information for the rest of her time in Congress, right? After she married her brother and is probably running a scam in Minnesota. Turns out the ADL isn't trustworthy. Hate to see that, man. I thought I could trust him. Who could have guessed it? And I believe there's one more. What's that? Those last 2? These are the Memetic Sisyphus ones? No, the last 2 on the bottom right. Steven Crowder said the leftist terrorist in Portland who shot a man point blank because he was a Trump supporter, Aaron Danielson, on camera, is not counted as political violence according to recent data/studies. So that was just nothing. That was like a property dispute or something. Yep, and then Andy No had one more. We'll end it with this. The gunman Michael Reinl wrote in his manifesto, I'm 100% Antifa. He was arrested weeks earlier at a riot with an illegal firearm. He was let go and the DA's office dropped all his charges, and he hid his location, whatever. So it's like when you're a leftist doing crime, they'll let you out or they won't categorize it. And if you're a right-wing person doing anything, it's counted as right-wing political crime. Yeah, and then something that we've talked about with all this data that Memetic Sisyphus also pointed out was the inclusion of white prison gang violence in all of these. So 2 skinheads could kill someone over a drug deal gone wrong, and they throw that into the right wing. Meanwhile, all black or all Latino gangs, none of that gets thrown into the left wing. So they're cooking the books, they're padding their numbers, And then they're trying to use it to run interference on like you noticing patterns in the media. Like, gee, a lot of right-wingers sure are getting beat up. And, well, I did see that my mom got intimidated during the BLM riots. And they're like, no, just look at this chart. The ADL will provide for you, right?
And they count on people not going through the data.
100%. Yeah, that's part of it.
That's definitely part of it. And keep in mind, we also have like Luigi Mangione and also the killer of Irina Zarutska. Is that going to be left-wing violence? Probably not.
I got that white girl.
Doesn't count.
I don't think that's showing up in the data.
All right, let's get into our Charlie Kirk update.